During COVID, we found ourselves in a position where the sectors that we normally focus on, like residential, hospitality and infrastructure those markets slowed down a little bit during the COVID times. We then thought of other sectors that we should get involved with. Data centers was one of those that was a natural selection because of the fact that there was this enormous boom of data, and we saw that the market for data center construction in the region was really gaining momentum. So at that point there were a number of reasons why we made the decision, and one of them was also that we can leverage so many different skill sets within our business. We've got different business verticals within the ALEC group that can offer an end-to-end solution for construction of data centers. We've got Alemco, who are an MEP division, who specialize in doing mechanical and electrical installations, also mission-critical infrastructure, which is very well suited towards data center construction as well. Well, look, I think we're a group that is very technology focused. We're very innovative in our approach. And we just, we see that there is definitely a gap in the market with regards to the A-grade contractors who are working in the data center space. So we thought that would be a good place to position ourselves. In conjunction with that, we've got world-class manufacturing facilities, which means we can also offer prefabricated data center solutions. As I mentioned previously, we have a culture of innovation within ALEC. And we also push the sustainability agenda as a business. When we opened up the data center vertical, we were approached by a few really amazing technology providers in the space who actually focus on liquid cooling technology. And what this has got the ability to do is to transform the way data centers are built. As it stands currently, data centers consume a huge amount of power. And they also, not a lot of people know this, but they consume a fair bit of water too. So an average data center in this region will consume up to an Olympic-sized swimming pool every second to third day on water consumption because of the cooling. So what this technology does is it allows you to eliminate a lot of that. It's also a lot more efficient. And essentially what's happening is you, instead of relying on air cooling, you're relying on liquid cooling. And we've partnered up with quite a few partners from Europe, and we're very excited to be playing in this market. And this region hasn't really yet seen any major adoption, but we think the time is coming where the shift will start happening, and we want to be ready for that moment. Obviously, the cooling because of the heat. So, your traditional data centers were generally always built in colder climates where they could rely on what they call free cooling. So you don't need to actually have air conditioning systems if you build your data center up in the Nordics, for example. So by building data centers here, it presents a whole bunch of new challenges from a cooling perspective, and hence the reason why they draw so much more power. But by moving from the air-cooled solution to a liquid-cooled solution, it dramatically reduces your power consumption bills, and obviously it brings a huge amount of benefits to a typical data center. For example, this region is known for being very dusty, so the maintenance of air conditioning equipment is quite strenuous. Again, if you move across to a liquid cooling technology, it makes the maintenance far easier. So there are many reasons why we've moved across and why we're trying to partner with these guys. And interestingly, we're actually seeing a lot of the big players in the data center industry now starting to talk this agenda, and they're starting to try and specify some of these technologies in the new builds of their data centers. So we see everything moving in the right direction, to be honest. So the key one with me is this high density compute. What's happening is you're actually seeing it today with GITEX, with the amount of interest and with the evolution of technology. Processing power is growing rapidly. Chipsets are becoming more and more powerful, and in turn they're generating more and more heat. So what we see with time is there will become a point where certain chipsets and server technologies won't be able to be cooled in an air-cooled medium. So again, things will definitely start shifting towards this liquid-cooled technology. as I say, the current air-cooled data centers are currently operating on rack densities that are still manageable with air cooling. However, going forward, I definitely think there's going to be a time where a modern data center construction will possibly have a hybrid solution where you'll have a combination of air cooling and liquid cooling, which will either be liquid immersion cooling or direct-to-chip cooling, which are two technologies that are currently on the market at the moment. You know, sustainability is very much at the heart of what we try and do as ALEC. We build an enormous amount of large structures as a business in the region, and with every passing year, the focus has to move towards sustainable solutions. Things like reducing embodied carbon, the build process is very, very carbon heavy. And specifically when you move now towards cooling technologies like air-cooled or liquid-cooled, there is an enormous amount of power that gets consumed with inefficient technologies. And there are new technologies coming to the market every day that really reduce your consumption of your power and your water. So, for us, if we can get this technology integrated in what we do as a business, it really, it ticks so many boxes for us. And our end users, whether it be driven by, money spent, for them they'll be spending less money on their energy bills, of course, but at the same time, these sustainable solutions are offering a good long-term solution to the buildings that we build, and the same applies obviously in the data center space. The ozone thing is to do with refrigerant gas. A lot of the regulation actually has actually forced both contractors and vendors to be very careful in using technologies that damage the ozone with regards to ozone gas. But in this region, the sustainability thing, what we try and do is we try and build towards the local building codes which drive a sustainability agenda, things like LEED certification. There are these bodies that operate within the region, and we want to try and build to those standards, which means that we sourcing products from sustainable sources, where we are, as I said, specifying equipment that is super efficient. And I think if as a construction industry, if we all collaborate and drive towards that, the leadership is in the UAE is pushing sustainable solutions in quite a heavy way, and I think that it's only a matter of time before sustainability is at the heart of what we do as a business. As ALEC, as a group, we are very fortunate that we draw upon a large pool of resources. Currently we have around 2,500 staff members who work for us, and these are guys who are specialized in project managing large-scale construction projects, as well as we have technical resources, individuals such as architects, engineers, commissioning specialists, and these individuals have got the ability to turnkey a project of a very complex nature. We do this for a living, and we do believe that we can do the same in data centers. On top of this, we obviously have got manufacturing facilities. So we have a facility called Link, which is a dedicated manufacturing facility, which also gives our clients the ability to do off-site manufacturing, which is something we haven't really spoken about much in this interview, something maybe for future, but we have got the ability to offer clients that as well, which is another key sell. A few years ago, ALEC built a dedicated facility focusing on modular manufacturing. So this ranges anything from building what we call pods, which are little sub-assemblies that you would incorporate in a large construction project, all the way through to building a home, a modular home. So we've got 13,000 square meters of dedicated facility in the Dubai Industrial City. And this facility is perfectly suited for the data center market, where a lot of the work that would happen in the data center construction industry is able to be modularized. So that means you would build everything off-site, you would test it off-site in a factory environment, and then you would bring it onto site and put it into work. So we really believe that facility is going to pay dividends in the future. The whole industry is moving towards off-site manufacturing. It has benefits both from a cost perspective as well as a quality control perspective. And we really think that that's a value add into the data center sphere.